Good morning and welcome to Brown Bag Gentleman. Today we are doing a back to basics shaving video. So this is when you first start out, bare bones, what you need and to get going. And it will be a bowl lathering shave because even at the back to basics, you can get a bowl for $1 at the dollar store. So it's affordable. That'd be like the cheapest thing you get to spend money on is the bowl for $1. And I'm going to show you the one I got at the dollar store. Of course, I've got others. I've got the Timeless, which goes for about $12. It's a plastic one. It's a good one. It's got the indents in it. Works great. And then I also have the pottery. And this is what now that it's October, I switched to the pottery. And this just holds the heat nice and gives you a nice warm lather. I love it for that. It's not a shaving bowl because I got this at the local store. This is Sanford, North Carolina. We have pottery here. It's a pottery town. So yeah, I got this at $5 at one of my local establishments. So it was not hard to find. And you can of course use whatever bowl you like, but this is really about the size I like. They have those super small ones you get sometimes on eBay. Yeah, don't get those. Those are too small. And I do have now with me right now. I'm looking for it. Bear with me. I don't see it. No, I have a Shulton's mug that's about as small as I like to use, but I like it. It does work well, even though it is kind of tiny, but it's shallow. So I can use my most shallow brush, which I don't have right here. Oh, here it is. It's on the shelf. So this is a tiny brush. Look how tiny this thing is. This is pretty tiny, size of my hand. This is a tiny brush, and this works in the Shultons really well. And this is a metal one. This is a billet aluminum. But then that's fixed. We'll put that aside here. But so today, as I'm rambling here, yeah, we're going to be back to basics, what you need. And just to give you an idea, this is not what we're shaving with, but this is one actually, I can't, we won't discuss that one yet because that's a present for somebody. So yeah, we won't discuss that one quite yet. But what we'll be using is the Edwin Jagger DE89. This will be the most expensive part of your arsenal. It didn't come with this handle. I replaced the handle, but they do have other handles that are acceptable under my purposes that work well. But on Knurling, this is Knurling. I don't know if you see that Knurling, like you'd get on your 45 caliber ACP pistol, 1911. Yeah, Knurling, and it's not so aggressive that it pinches and hurts, but it's enough that when your hands are soapy and wet, you can hold it. It's not going to come out. It just works. It's not going to go falling on your hands. So what we're going to do? So let me show you what I got going here, what we're going to be using today. Your basic needs and kind of give you an idea on cost too. Let me just get rid of this Chad head that's in my way. There we go. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to flip this around. Hopefully you'll see it. So, well, hopefully what you're seeing here, because I can't tell. This is my shaving bowl. $1 at the dollar store. It came with a lid. It was in the cooking section. The razor I showed you. This is the RazoRock Allen Block. I think that's like $6.99, something like that. In fact, all of these things, except for the bowl, you can get at Italian Barber. So RazoRock is the Italian Barber's house brand. This is the first, they came up with the first soft brush. So it says RazoRock 2. Super soft, really works well. A little bit of backbone, a little bit right there. Yes, it's not, as I say, it's like a medium backbone, I think, at most. And then this is just one of their many RazoRock soaps. I think this is like a $10 soap online. Their stuff ranges from like, I think as cheap as $3.99 to like $15.99, depending. And so this is really all you need to shave. Of course, you got to have a washcloth, and you may want a little aftershave. And as we're getting into fall and winter, you may want a little balm too for any kind of dry skin issues. Of course, I always use an aftershave. I'll flip it back around. Sorry, don't want to make you motion sick here with all the spinning around here. So I promise that'll stay stationary now. So I'm going to put you on pause while I fill the sink, get things warm, and I will show you the lather. So hold on. And welcome back. And what we're going to be starting with, now that I've got the warm waters in the sink, my shaving bowl and my brush are in the sink. So they're all in that bowl. So they're all getting nice and warm. So we are going to build a shaving lather, but we're going to use that lather also to wash our face, because you always start by washing your face. Unless you've just stepped out of the shower. I have not. So I'm going to wash my face first. It is important. It is an important step. I do encourage you not to skip it, especially as a new shaver. You will notice a difference if you do with and without. It's a rougher shave if you don't wash your face. And of course, it's like dirt and oils and stuff too. So wash your face first. Even if you never go to this type of shaving, if you stick with your multi-blade piece of garbage, sorry, little bias there. But if you do that, you still want to wash your face. So let's see here. So I'm gonna take my brush, open that out. 1, 2, and squeeze. So 2 shakes and a squeeze. And I'm trying today with my effort, I'm trying to look at the camera lens and not at the screen. I'm trying to do that today. And now Ken shaving and BSing, Ken notices that stuff. So I'm trying to make him proud. So we'll see. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna load this. You see it's building rather fast. Okay, that's probably plenty. I swirled it around 70 times. That's what I did. I actually count them. A lot of people don't count. I do. I like to get an idea. This is what they call a crope type soap. This basically, if I push on it with my finger, it moves a little bit. It squishes a little bit. You know, it's firm, but it still will move. It's not a solid, hard, triple milled piece of rock granite type soap. It's softer. So 70 is plenty. Well, I do have a triple milled soap that I use, and I usually actually have to load that about 100 times. But 70 is usually got. Usually 50 will suffice, especially since I got all this mess going on here. I don't have to shave all this, so I don't need as much. But we want to build a nice, successful soap, especially in the beginning. Load it 70 times. Load it 100 times. It doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. So I got that. I'm dumping the water. So this is a nice warm bowl now. So, and there's just a little drop of water in there. So let me line the camera here. Okay, here we go, so you can see. Okay, I just swirled it around 100 times, and that was clockwise. I am left-handed. I swirled it around clockwise 100 times. So now we're going to go counterclockwise. And for me, the counterclockwise, it tends to build the lather a little quicker, a little nicer. But I always start clockwise and go and finish counterclockwise. So let's see what that does. In fact, let me just dip my fingers in the sink and just dip a little bit of water in there. That's all, just a little bit. That's all you need. Okay, it's doing good. Okay, we're done. So basically I swirl it around 100 times counterclockwise as well. I just want to build a nice peaky soap. This is gobs of soap. This is gobs and gobs. I mean, you could hand this to your neighbor and they can shave too when you're done. And there's so much soap. Lots of soap. That's what I like to see. You have little kids like Brandon Caffo does. I'm dedicating this video to you, Brandon, because we were talking about getting into the basics of what they call wet shaving with a double-edged safety razor. Oops, I'm looking at the screen, not at the camera. Sorry. Let's look at the camera. So I know we're 9 minutes into this, and we haven't put blade to face yet. So I'm just wetting the washcloth. We're going to wash the face. This is going to be a long one now because I just want to show all the steps. I don't want to skip anything. Bear with me here. Let's take those off. All right, I've moistened the face a bit. Now we're going to wash our face with the shaving soap. Because as a new shaver, you don't have a pre-shave soap. You don't have that because it's extra expense. That pre-shave soap is like $6, $7. The base plate to put it on is $6 or $7. So yeah, you don't have that money. You know, you're trying to keep this basics because you got we'll say 40 to 45 in the razor. That's your biggest expense. The soaps say 10. The brush, this basic RazoRock brush is about a $10 or $12 item on sale at Christmas time, or getting that time of year. Will be on sale soon, I'm sure. When this brush first came out, they were the first ones to make this type of brush. Now they're everywhere. But when they started it, this brush was $5 as an introduction. And of course it flew off the shelves. And that's why I bought one for me and one for all my boys. All right, so we basically got soap all over the face. Let's wipe it off. Washing the face. This is really, seriously, it is an important step. All right, let's rinse this off. And in reality, this whole shave process takes less than 10 minutes. It takes me about 7 minutes, I would say, to shave my face in the morning, 3 passes. You just go on autopilot and you just do it. But of course, I'm very chatty, so this is going to take a while. I want to make sure that I don't forget anything. Okay, glasses back on. So now I can see. Okay, yeah, I can see now. All right. So, still loads of soap. I mean, I don't have to squish in there. There's plenty. You saw how to make the soap, and it really is that easy. And if you get one of those basic RazoRock soaps, I say for your first shaving equipment, go to Italian Barber. It's just one store, but they'll have everything. They have the Edwin Jagger razor. They have many other house brand RazoRock soaps that work well. Good introductory soap. Oh, and this Alchemy smells good too. My wife likes this one. I usually try to steer everybody towards RazoRock Triple X as their first soap, is because it's a tallow soap. If you're more of a vegan style person, you may not want to do that because tallow is a beef product. But they're out of stock right now. I just looked on the website before I did this video yesterday. Yesterday I checked the website. And see, it's not hard to get on your nose. I mean, I got the half mustache thing going on, and it ain't hard. Now my half mustache, I was using a one blader from the 50s. That was kind of big and hard to get underneath. That it was a challenge. So I'm sure my mustache isn't as even as it could be on top. So I'll be straightening that out later with a trimmer, a little electric trimmer. But first pass is with the grain. My face grows down. Hair on my neck goes up. Well, mostly right here it goes in a V on both sides. And you will have nuances in your facial hair growth as well. There we go. Right about there is when it starts growing up. So that's why I go down about here. From the hair down, it goes up. So that's filled up half. I still got the other half of the blade to go. With the multi-blade, you've been rinsed twice already by now. Following the lines. There. I did everything but underneath the nose. I like a freshly washed, rinsed razor for under the nose so I don't scoosh any on my nose. Stretch the skin. There. Okay, I can feel it there. It's not as perfect as it could be, but I don't chase it because it's such a tight area to work in. When and done, if I chase it, I'll be bleeding and everything. So we're not going to do that. So, pass one is done. I'm not going to rinse the face. I mean, a lot of guys do, just because it cleans it up, makes it look a little neater for video. I'm already too many minutes into this to slow down for that. This is raw video. There's no editing involved in this at all. I'm just going to post this. Maybe as I gain experience in doing this, I'll get fancier. But right now we're using the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus to video. And I see we're 14 minutes and 40 seconds into it. Pass 2. Now pass 2 is across the grain. So basically across is going to go toward outside to inside, both sides. And I am tightening my face. You want to stretch your skin. If you got the the looser skin, especially as you get older like me, yeah, you can snag it and it'll hurt. stretch the skin. And some people do use their fingers and everything else, and no, I could do without it, mostly. Stretch your neck. My neck is stretched out, stretch that skin. Sometimes at the bottom I will pull of it. There you go. That's half of it's full and half of it's empty. So we got the other half to go. That's the nice thing about DE shaving versus multi-blade shaving. You do not have to rinse near as often. You don't get the clogged between blades. Okay. Rinse that out nice and good. Okay, there we go. Just to show you close up what that looks like. See the blade? There's a little gap. You can't see a lot of gap. But see, there it is. Just a little bit of gap. You got a blade exposure. Blade exposure is how much it sticks out, and blade gap is how much it is off the base plate. So this is the bottom piece of the base plate. This is the top cap, and this is the handle. 3-piece razor. I didn't take it apart to show you. And of course, there's other razors like I was going to show you that are just twist opens and all that too. So they have that. But alrighty, pass 3. And to say, as you're putting it, because this soap is still, I mean, it's probably like lukewarm now, but it was nice and warm when I first made it because it came out of the bowl that was warmed in a sink water, into warm sink water. And you want to run the water basically probably about as hot as you can stand it. Mine is already pre-set at a milder temperature, so I can go full hot out of the tap and it's not going to scald anybody. You might like yours a little hotter, so if you do, yeah, just be mindful. Set your temperature so you don't burn yourself. See how nice this soap is? I mean, now I can start to feel it. You can't really tell, but I can start to feel it. It's starting to dry a little bit. If I was going to gab for a few more minutes, I'd probably add a little more water. Because you can always dip your brush. In fact, let's do it. Dip the brush into just the tips in the water. Oh, and that just adds some warmth too. Oh, yeah. That thins it out a bit. You see, especially on my left side there, you can see it thinned out a bit. But it adds that bit of moisture. Helps rejuvenate the slickness. There we go. Third pass against the grain. So facial hair goes down, I'm gonna go up. And I've already knocked it down going with and across. So this, you'll notice the biggest difference between multi-blade shaving and DE shaving. Now I'm gonna go against the grain now, and it's not gonna tug and pull. It didn't tug and pull when I come down, it's cutting. These blades are just sharp and angled just right. And this razor is a milder razor. It's mild to medium aggressive, I guess they call. You grow into this razor a little bit. I did cut myself a bit because when I first started, because you do things like you slip and you go sideways. Well, that's slicing. You're going to slice your skin. It's going to hurt. You don't want to do that. And you see how I'm doing this with no shaving cream because it's just the residual slickness. But I kind of max that out. That's about as much as I want to do without reapplying shave cream. And in the beginning, don't worry, add more shave cream. You got a whole stinking boatload of it here. I find it 3 swipes down along the Adam's apple on both sides. Gets just about all of it. One more on that side, and then down the middle. Stretch it out. See, and because this is what they call a solid base plate, it's along here. There's no open gaps. There's really lower. As long as you're stretching the skin, there's low risk that you can like cut your Adam's apple. Some guys will swallow and force the Adam's apple up, and then do that. To me, that's uncomfortable as all get. I really don't like to do that. I don't like the feeling of it, so I don't. I get razors that will be aggressive enough, and yet won't cut me on my Adam's apple. And that includes open combs. I've got an open comb that I'm waiting to buy that I tried out from a neighbor that will shave me well. It's the base plate for the Game Changer razor from Razor Rock, which is Italian Barber again. We're Italian Barber themed today. I've had a love-hate relationship with that razor. First got it, tried my tried and true Astra Platinum blades, didn't like it. Tried other blades. I found a tree blade that worked a little better, and the Gillette Silver Blue worked a little better, but still not as good as I wanted. So then I found the base plate. I swapped my neighbor for a week and tried to say, oh yeah, that's just what I need. I mean, I've been doing this for 11 years, going on 12 years. Get rid of this, clean the sink out. I'm going to pause here for a moment, like drain my sink, rinse off my equipment, and I'll be back. Okay, and we're back. So yes, I rinsed off my equipment and everything, put it back, but my face isn't rinsed. So let's get to that point now. So let's turn on the warm water. I first start with a warm water rinse, then we switch to a cold water rinse. I'm trying that out. I never did a warm water rinse. I always did a cold water rinse. But I would, I'm trying different things to try and reduce any kind of potential for ingrown hairs. So I'm trying to rinse out, basically wash out the pores while they're still open. Get the soap out of them. That's my theory. And I'm sticking with it. So, warm water. And it just feels good. I mean, shaving really is a joyful experience in the morning. Start your day right. And here we are 20 minutes into it, 21 minutes into it. Because, yeah, I'm gabbing and trying to show you details. But in reality, no, when you get doing this, it's 7 minutes. It's very similar to for doing a multi-blade razor. It's just that you're doing 3 passes, doing a layer at a time to be gentle on your skin. Halfway decent soap to give you a slickness and comfort. And of course, they smell good, and also they're more economical than buying the can of goo. That tub that I just showed you is 5 ounces. Rule of thumb is if you shave every day like me, you go through about an ounce a month. So that $10 purchase lasts me 5 months. You can't do that with a can of goo. Okay, this is the cold water. I just ran straight cold water. And here in the south, yeah, it's not really that cold. It will be in another month or so as it gets cooler outside, but right now, no. I think today's a cooler day and it's going to be in the low 60s. So yeah, we're just closing up the pores. Okay, now, as a beginning shaver, you're going to have little nicks and micro cuts and what have you too. That's where this comes in. This is the alum block. I took the cap off, the RazoRock alum block. All you do is you run the cold water, just cold. Let on the face, that's enough. Run it under the water, done. And rub it over your face. It will sting. Basically it's a salt, alum. It's a solid piece of alum. This is not styptic. It's not the same thing. It'll run similar in that it will help close up any kind of tiny micro nicks, what have you. You'll feel a little stinging everywhere. Oops, right there. I felt that. Yeah, I felt that right there a little bit. I felt it right up high in my cheek too, right there. There you go. But this, unlike a styptic pencil, this will not dry powdery white all over your face. You can just leave this. Some people rinse it off, some don't. I never rinse it off. I just leave it. And if you got teenagers at home, this is great for acne. This is phenomenal for acne. Okay, there's that. The water in my hand. There we go. Just dry that off a bit. Because then, of course, at this point, we are done with the shave. Nice and close. Oh yeah, that is so nice. Nice close shave. And now let's see, I'm pretty much finished. You don't have to do the aftershave because I did the alum. I don't have to do aftershave, but I want to do aftershave. So this again is alcohol based. Stinging is involved. But I just did the alum, so the stinging won't be that much. I mean, yeah, I feel a little bit. I feel a little sting, so yeah. I feel it right there. So I got myself, you can't see it, but yeah, there's a little micro nick there. So a little aftershave. And aftershave, difference between aftershave and cologne is the aftershave has got more alcohol and less scenty, this stuff that makes it scent, so yeah, it won't last as long. Although this good old Old Spice, I think it lasts like half a day. It'll last till lunch. There we go. And then this is not the same scent or anything else. This is a light, you know what that smells like, I'm sure, guys. This is just, I got this at Lidl. I do shopping at Lidl here in North Carolina. And this was like $5, I think, maybe. So we get a couple of drops. We just need a few drops. Probably about 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay, yeah, because I keep on there. Okay, probably way more than I need, but it's okay. Especially as new shavers, this is not a bad thing to do for y'all. It just helps soothe a bit. And of course, it's a lotion, so I'm going to use it on my forehead too. I noticed the skin on my forehead's getting a little dry. There we go. And there we go. And that was it. So I'm hoping that you found this video entertaining, but also, a little informative for the equipment. Yes, the razor is your biggest piece, and you can find razors. I know RazoRock sells a razor that I got from like my son. His first razor was like, it's $10, $9.99, something like that. And it works. It's got a smooth handle on it, whatever, good heft. He liked it. I thought it walked out of his house, so I think one of his friends might have liked it too. But so you can't go less expensive. I just recommend the Edwin Jagger. For me, it's a known quantity. It's enough aggression to build into. It's a razor you could use for the rest of your life. It might be a little bit much. If you've got sensitive skin, maybe it's too much for you to begin with, but you can adjust with blades. That's why when you also purchase, which we did discuss, a multi-pack of different blades. You can try the blades. My two favorite blades are the Astra green, I think SP they call it, the platinum, and the Gillette Silver Blue. Those are my absolute favorites. There's Feather, which you'll get in a multi-pack sometimes. And those are like the sharpest ones you can get. Those are really sharp, so be careful when you use those as a noob. And then there's the Sharks and the Derbies and the many other things you can try. So you can try different ones to see what suits you. So you can tune in a razor to suit your skin and your techniques and how you want to do it. We didn't talk really about angle and everything else too, but you find the angle. All of a sudden, you'll be like, you start off flat, you see there's no razor blade touching, and then all of a sudden you get to about here and it touches. So what's that, about a 30-degree angle? Yeah, I can feel it starting to grab a little bit. So it is by feel. You'll feel it. It's like driving on a standard transmission car. You just learn. It just happens. You go on autopilot. You just do it. And every razor is a little bit different, but you find it in a matter of seconds. It's not hard. And here, that aftershave balm is all absorbed into the skin, so it's not all greasy. So yeah, for $5, I like that one. But I hope that was informative for you, and have a blessed day.